Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. In today's class, we're going to continue with our Math 9 content. And today's class is just going to be a review on slopes. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so here we are. Okay, and this is just going to be like a class on the review of slopes. Okay, so let's take some questions from the textbook. So let's try this example. Okay, and what we're going to do is basically find the slope of the line that is going through these 2 points. Okay, so say I have point A, which is 1 and 1. And then point B is 5 and 9. Okay, everyone see that? All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to label this x1, y1. And then x2, y2. Okay, I'm going to write out the formula for slope. Okay, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and I'm just going to substitute my value in here. Okay, and that's why I always like label, okay, the different points that you have. And that way you know that you're doing it correctly. Okay, so y2 is equal to 9 minus the y1, which is equal to 1. Okay, over x2, which is equal to 5, minus x1, which is equal to 1. Everyone see that? Okay, so just like this, I'm going to do 9 minus 1 on the top, which is equal to 8. And on the bottom, we're doing 5 minus 1, which is 4. And then you're going to divide it and simplify. So I'm just doing 8 divided by 4, which is equal to 2. Okay? And that's basically how you're just finding the slope. Again, I'm just putting it into the formula for slope. Okay, let's try one more example here. So we'll just do it on the side here. So let's try one that has negative signs. So I have C, negative 1 and 1. Okay, and point D is negative 3 and negative 2. Okay, everyone see that? So one more time, we're going to just plug it into our formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So C is my first point, so I'm going to put x1, y1. D is the second point, so we're putting x2, y2. Okay, and then I'm just going to substitute it in here. Okay, so one more time, y2 is negative 2. Oh, let's put minus. Okay, y1, which is negative 1. Okay, so I do have to put the negative sign 2 times here. Okay, over x2, x2 is negative 3, minus x1, which is negative 1. Does everyone see that? Make sure you do write the negative signs. This is really important. Okay, so what we're doing is negative 2 plus 1, so negative 1. And on the bottom, for the denominator, it's negative 3 plus 1, which is equal to negative 2. Okay, remember not to leave your answer like this. Okay, we're going to leave it as a fraction. Okay, but the two negative signs cancel out. And what I'm left with is m equals 1 over 2. Are there any questions there? All right, good. So let's go to the next question here. Okay, and let's try it on the bottom. Okay, and what we're going to do here, okay, is find an equation. And what they give us is basically the slope is given to be negative 2. The y-intercept is given as positive 4. Okay, and we are looking for the equation of the line. Okay, so if you have the y-intercept like this, remember that the x value is 0. So my point is actually like this, like 0 and 4. Okay, so I'm just going to substitute it into the equation of a line. So y equals mx plus b. Okay, I notice that the slope is given to me. The slope is negative 2. I want to just sub the negative 2 in for my value of m, because this is the slope. Okay, and now my line is actually going through this point, which is the y-intercept. So you see how I have the x and y points here? I'm just going to substitute that into my equation. So the y is 4 equals 2 times the x value is 0. So sub the 0 in there, plus b. Okay, everyone's good? We're going to multiply this. So 4 equals 2 times 0 is 0 plus b. All right, and then I notice that the value for b is equal to 4. So just like this, okay? And again, don't forget to actually write your final equation. So I'm going to, therefore, y equals negative 2x plus 4. Okay, and you're always going to be using the same method here, okay? I'm actually always going to be solving for the b value, which is the y-intercept. Okay, are there any questions? Good. Okay, make sure you box your answer at the end, okay, so the teacher can see what it is. Okay, let's try one more question here on the side. Okay, so let's try one where the slope is given. Okay, however, this time it's going to be a fraction. So we're going to do 2 over 7 for the slope. Okay, and then the y-intercept is given to be negative 14. So just like this. Okay, and again, we're just going to do the same thing here. Okay, I'm going to find and plug it into the value of y equals mx plus b. Okay, we're going to substitute this value in. So let's sub in our value for m. So 2 over 7x plus b. Okay, and I'm always substituting the value for m. Okay, so don't worry if it is a fraction. Okay, because again, I just want to solve for the value of b, which is the y-intercept. And again, make sure you're writing this as a point. So 0, negative 14. Okay, so I notice that the x value is 0 and the y value is going to be 14. Okay, so I want to basically take these values. I want to substitute it into my equation here. Okay, so we're going to do negative 14 equals 2 over 7 times 0 plus b. Okay, so remember the y-intercept doesn't have to be the only point that's given to you. Okay, the teacher can also give you the x-intercept, which will be the same thing, okay, except for these 2 points. I'm just going to be switching around the numbers. Remember, for the x-intercept, the y point is going to equal to 0. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do here is basically just multiply this out. So what we're doing is 2 over 7 times 0, which is equal to 0. Okay, what we're left with is 0 plus b. Okay, and the value for b here is equal to negative 14. Okay, again, don't forget to actually state your final equation or the teacher might take off a mark there. Okay, so what I'm going to put is therefore y equals your value for m, okay, which is 2 over 7. So we're going to put 2 over 7x minus 14, okay? And again, some students do put like 2 over 7x plus negative 14. Okay, a lot of the times teachers don't want to see, okay, like two values in terms of the positive and negative signs. Okay, so I would make sure that I only put one sign at the end here. Okay, so if it is negative, okay, you should just leave it as a negative value. Okay, are there any questions there? All right, good. That looks good. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, and what we're going to do here is just a quick review of the parallel and the perpendicular lines. Okay, so let's try a question here. Okay, so find the slope of a line with each property. Okay, so a line that is parallel. Let's write this one. So y equals 3x plus 16. And I have to write basically an equation of a line that's parallel to this. So if you look over here, the slope of this line is equal to 3. So I'm going to put m equals 3. Okay, and the equation of my line is going to be y equals, say, 3x minus 5. Okay, so now you notice my line just has to have the same slope as this line right here. So the slope just has to be 3. It doesn't even matter what the y-intercept is. I can put any number in there. Okay, so should we try one more here? Okay, so let's do a line that is perpendicular So I'm going to write the equation of a line, okay, that is perpendicular to the one I'm giving you here. So let's do y equals 3 over 4 x plus 8. Okay, so if you look at this line right here, the second one, okay, the slope of this line is equal to 3 over 4. Okay, now the equation of my line, remember, has to be perpendicular, okay, to this line. Okay, remember perpendicular means it has to be a negative reciprocal, okay? So I'm going to put the slope of my line. I have to flip this over. So it's going to be not 3 over 4, but 4 over 3. Okay, I noticed because this is a positive slope here, I have to do a negative reciprocal. So not just flipping it over, I'm adding a negative sign to it, x, and I'm going to put plus 6. Okay, and so this will be the equation of my line. Does everyone see that? Okay, the equation of my line is just perpendicular to the line that's given here. I know it's perpendicular because I'm using the negative reciprocal slope. And again, it just does not matter, okay, what the y-intercept is. Okay, you can put any number in there. All right, any questions so far? Good. Okay, let's do a review of this last question. Okay, so it's saying find the equation of a line, okay, that is parallel to this line that's given. We're going to make this kind of different. So I'll give you the equation. So y equals negative 3x plus 1. It has to be parallel to this line, and it has to pass through this point A, which is negative 3, positive 5. Okay, so just like this. All right, so what we're going to do, because my line, again, has to be parallel, so let's write y equals mx plus b, okay? And it has to be parallel to this line, okay? So if you look closely, this line has a slope of negative 3. So the slope of my line should be negative 3. So I'll put negative 3x plus b. Okay, everyone's good so far? Now I know that it has to pass through this point here. Let's put x and y. Okay, so I have seen students mix up the x and y values and the coordinates. If it's something that confuses you, you should always be labeling it. Okay? And so now we're going to plug in the x and y values. The y is 5. Okay, and the x value here is negative 3. So plus b. So you notice again, we're just solving for the y-intercept. So 5 equals, we're doing negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9 plus b. Okay, take the 9 to the other side. I'm subtracting it. Okay, so it's going to be 5 minus 9, which is negative 4. Everyone's good? Okay, and let's write the equation of our line. So the final equation is going to be, I have my slope, which is negative 3x, okay, like this. And I have the b value as well. So negative 3x minus 4. Okay, and this is basically going to be the final answer of your equation. All right. So the only way the teacher can make it a little bit harder is basically telling you that your line has to be perpendicular to this line that is given. Okay, and in that case, what you're going to do is basically, instead of using negative 3 here, I would just have to flip this over. It would actually be positive 1 over 3x plus b. As long as they give you, the teacher gives you a point that the line is going through, I just need to take that point and sub it back into the equation here. And again, we are solving for the b value, which is the y-intercept. Okay, and then you have the value of the slope and the y-intercept, which is the b value, and that gives you your final equation here. All right, okay, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.